All right, so this is another video for the Hip 2 Hip V2 here in Orlando. I wanted to give a clearer view because of my first video. The screen was a little glary, but I was outside. I'm outside again. I'm going to show you for the next steps, but what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to do the hip test on the tap, at the ground block, and at the CPE, and I'm going to show how to balance it. I already did it. I know my tap is high, so I just want everyone to see how I balanced it out from the tap all the way to the CPE. So once you turn on your meter, you go to Hip V2. Make sure you're on the proper plan, right? See, you have to pick the proper plan. You hit new, and then you can test. You can whatever you want to put here. So testing today is the 4th, October 4th. So usually job ID would be like the work order and stuff like that. So I'm just putting the date just so I know that I'm testing. But count number, you already know. Job ID would be the work order number. You have to put the work order. Please put the work order. Once you put that in, you hit next. And we're at the tap. I have a jumper directly to the tap. And for the first test, it says action required. It's going to test for ingress. So this is the one that goes to the tap, and you want to hook up the drop. So what I did was I have a jumper already set up here, and it's 100 feet from here to the ground block. So that would be the drop that goes to the unit, or goes to the customer's premises. Okay, so that's 100 feet to the ground block, and I'm just gonna run the ingress. So make sure this is always only TDR. This one is TDR. This is everything else. And whatever you're gonna do it through this port right here. Make sure everything is hand tight. I mean snug, guys. Don't leave it loose. It can give you problems if it's loose. So once you hook up the drop that goes to the customer's premises, you hit next. And it's gonna do its check. That's clean. That's no ingress. Sometimes you might get a little spike over here on the 5 side, but that's fine. All right, so it finished. It passed the ingress test. Now we're gonna do the actual tap again. So you have to make sure you disconnect. That's the drop that goes to, this is my jumper that goes to the tap. So for the channel scan and for the cable modem, it's gonna require to be hooked up directly to the tap. So this line goes directly to the tap. You can see it right there. There you go. There's my tap setup. It's not that far. It doesn't really make a difference right now. And again, this is just to show you guys, or show whoever needs it. Action required. I hooked up the line or the jumper to the tap, and I'm going to hit next. And it's going to do its thing for the channel scan. You can actually go into your channel scan while it's running, and you can look at it and see pretty much where it's going to land. Please remember, the tap limits is 25 and the low side is 0. So the FCC basically requires all cable companies to have a certain range. In Central Florida, the range is positive 25 to 0. If anything passes 0, it's going to fail. If it passes 25, it's also going to fail. Now, that doesn't mean we're not going to be able to balance it out on the other side where the CPE is going to be located. It just means that it's pretty high. And again, that's why I want to show you guys, because it depends on the situation. Depending on where your signal is on the channels and where your upstream is, you'll be able to balance it out. And again, we have DCs coming, so it's pretty much to try to tie all of this information in one video. I will put out literature also, but you can already see all of these reds popping up. That's no good. That's high signal. I'm going to show you right here. So if you click on the bar next to it, it'll bring you close, and then you can tap right here on the red, and it's showing you right here what the signal is. So this one failed because it's 25.6. This is a high tap. See here, this is really high. 25.9. It's failing because it's a high tap, but it doesn't mean that we won't be able to balance this out. Again, it's 1, 2, 3, maybe 5 channels, a little bit high. The highest one is 25.9. So it's failing because of 0.9. That's not bad at all. We can balance it out on the other side. You'll see on the other videos. Again, this is going to be only tap testing. The other 2 videos will be, see, so the channel scan failed. And that's why. When you go into the details, it clearly shows you the red and why it's failing. So all you got to do is tap on it, look for it down here, click on it, and right here it tells you all your good information. Okay? So let me go back, and it's doing the cable modem. Please remember that this is a breakdown of certain things. It doesn't give us everything. And honestly, for 3.1 signal, you have to hit here where it says link. This is the button that's going to show you all of your reds. If it fails, you want to go to link and look for the reds. Like right now it's red, but once all of these show up, this is going to change. So wait a minute, give it a second, and once all of these numbers start popping up and everything settles, it locks in and everything, you're going to see the red change. So right now we're at 23.8. We'll see what happens when it all comes up on this side right here. You can see it right here in progress. It's not that different than a modem, an actual modem or a cable box, where it's looking for all the up, down, well, whatever goodies it needs to function. That's pretty much what it's doing. It's initializing all that good stuff. All right, awesome. So it failed, right? You see it right there, it failed. So we go to detail, and there's no red, right? That's where a lot of people are having problems, because they look at this screen like if it was 3.0. You only get one channel, upstream and downstream. That's it. This is no good for troubleshooting. What you want to do is you want to go here to link, and then no red, but watch this. Down here, there's red. Page 2 of 5. There's red. It's showing you, right? Similar to the graph in the beginning, it's showing you 25.6, 25.4, 25.2. 25.2, guys. 0.2 is the reason why it failed. 24.9 is good. 25, it's good, right? So again, once you go into cable modem and it's doing its test, look at the screens. It's going to show you, right? So that's 4 of 5. And that's 5 of 5. 5 of 5 is the upstream. The 4 bonded channels for your upstream, there they are. 17.4 megahertz, 23.8 megahertz, 30.2, 36.6. This is always the same anywhere in the nation. Upstream frequencies are before the 50 megahertz and all that. So you won't be able to see it in the graph. You have to go into link and look for the 4 bonded channels for your upstream. These are your 4 channels for upstream. There it is, 5 of 5, right? All of these other ones are showing you all of your other levels for your down and your single channels. The only 4 that are being bonded for upstream are right here, 5 of 5, okay? Please practice this. It's really great. Again, you can clearly see where it's failing right here, okay? So I'm gonna go back, and that's done. So I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna go to next, and I'm not gonna do the other ones this video, but I'm gonna show you how to save it. It says partial save, but I'm just gonna hit next, and I'm gonna hit save, and I'm gonna change whatever I want to put. I'm just gonna put testing, whatever address, work order, whatever your market requires you. I'm just going to put today's date, October 4th 19. Boom. And then here you can put your notes. So like if you let your supervisor know or whatever, you can change that and you know, whatever comments you want to put. You can't put more than 25 characters in your comments, so try to make it short and sweet. Whatever you want to put there, you know, it'll go with the upload. Whatever information you put here is going to go with your upload. Okay, so that's it. Okay, and now it's saved. Now it's ready for a new one. Again, I'm going to do the ground block and CPE after, so thank you. I'll do the other ones in a few minutes.